Have you ever wondered why some people seem to get ahead financially no matter how much they earn, while others are always struggling to make ends meet? The answer isn't always in how much you make, but in the financial habits we adopt, often without realizing it. Today, I'm going to reveal the 4 habits that are keeping you poor, and best of all, I'll tell you how you can get rid of them forever. This is an invitation to reflect and take action to transform your relationship with money. Stay with me because what we're going to talk about here can mark a before and after in your financial life. And as we begin, I want you to do an exercise. Think about a habit that you think is affecting your finances and write it in the comments. It may be on this list or it may be something completely different, but identifying it is already a step towards change. Now, let's go with the first habit. The first habit that keeps you poor is spending more than you earn. I know this sounds obvious, but do you know how many people fall into this cycle day after day? Social pressure, the desire to keep up appearances, and the need for instant gratification lead us to live beyond our means. According to a study by the Federal Reserve, more than 40% of households in the United States can't cover a $400 emergency expense without going into debt. This isn't just due to low income, but to poor financial management. It's a global problem. No matter how much you earn, if you spend more than you bring in, you'll always be in the red. Imagine someone who earns $2,000 a month. Between rent, credit cards, and variable expenses, they end up spending $2,300. That extra $300 piles up as debt, and if we add 20% annual interest, in a short time that $300 becomes a debt of $360, which continues to grow month after month. The golden rule is simple. Don't spend more than you earn. How do you achieve this? Keep track of your income and expenses. Before buying something, ask yourself, does this bring me closer to my financial goals or further away from them? Also, make it a habit to pay in cash whenever possible. This way you feel the immediate impact of your spending decisions. Understanding this point is key, but controlling your expenses won't be enough if you don't know exactly where your money is going. And that's where the second habit you need to avoid comes in. The second habit that keeps you stuck is not having a budget. Most people think budgeting is for financial experts or that it takes a lot of time, but the truth is, it's an essential tool for anyone who wants to break the cycle of poverty. According to a US bank study, only 41% of Americans use a budget to manage their finances. This means that more than half of people don't have a clear plan for how they spend or save their money. And as the saying goes, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Let's say you earn $3,000 a month. Without a budget, it's easy to spend $800 on rent, $600 on food, $500 on entertainment, and so on, until you realize you have nothing saved. But if from the beginning you divide that income into clear categories like needs, savings, and investment, you can prioritize what's really important. A simple system you can use is the 50-30-20 rule. Allocate 50% of your income to basic needs like housing and transportation, 30% to personal expenses or entertainment, and 20% to savings and investment. If you prefer something more personalized, there are apps like Mint or YNAB that help you create a budget tailored to your needs. Now that you have an idea of how to spend less and budget better, it's time to analyze whether these efforts are really taking you to the next level. Because even if you save, that's not always enough. The third habit that keeps you poor is believing that saving is enough. Don't get me wrong, saving is a fundamental step for any financial strategy, but it can't be your only focus. If your money is simply kept in a bank account that doesn't earn interest or in cash under the mattress, you're losing purchasing power every year. Did you know that the average annual inflation in many countries is around 3%? This means that every year, your money loses that percentage of its value. That is, $10,000 today will be worth approximately $9,700 next year if you don't put it to work. It's like you're going backwards financially, even when you think you're moving forward. Think about someone who manages to save $5,000 in 5 years, but doesn't invest it. That amount remains stagnant while the prices of goods and services rise. Now imagine that instead, they invest those $5,000 in an index fund that generates an average annual return of 8%. In 5 years, that same $5,000 can become more than $7,300. The difference is huge. Saving should be the first step, but then you need to learn how to invest. If you're new to this, you can start by researching index funds, government bonds, or high-yield savings accounts. Platforms like Vanguard or ETF-Matic are great for beginners. The important thing is that your money works for you, not the other way around. Saving is important, but investing is even more so. However, there's something even deeper that could be holding back your financial success: your mindset. The fourth and final habit that keeps you poor is having a scarcity mindset. This goes beyond the numbers in your bank account. It's the set of limiting beliefs that condition your relationship with money. Phrases like, "I can't afford it," "I'll never be rich," or "money isn't for me," create an invisible ceiling that you impose on yourself. A study by Stanford University found that people with a growth mindset about finances are much more likely to make decisions that increase their wealth in the long run. Meanwhile, those with a scarcity mindset tend to focus on immediate problems, ignoring future opportunities. Imagine two people with the same salary. One decides to invest in their education to learn new skills that allow them to grow professionally, while the other tells themselves, "I don't have the time or money for that." In 5 years, the first person will have multiplied their income, while the second is probably in the same place. Start changing your mindset. Instead of thinking about what you don't have, focus on what you can create. Instead of saying, "I can't afford it," ask yourself, "What can I do to get it?" This simple change in perspective opens up a world of possibilities. Now you know the 4 habits that may be holding back your financial success. The next step is more important: applying it all to your life. But before I say goodbye, I want to leave you with something to think about. Your finances don't change overnight, but small daily steps can create a giant impact in the long run. Start today by identifying which of these habits is present in your life and work to change it. If this video helped you, give it a like to support this content and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos on finance, personal development, and how to build a successful life. And of course, leave me in the comments. Which of these habits do you think has affected you the most, and what are you going to do to change it? I'm looking forward to reading your answers. See you in the next video, and remember that you have the power to transform your financial future.